with that.
So here we are, it's TTFL Tier 1, Round 3, Australia. It's back to normal. I say that, TTFL haven't done a sprint race yet, have they?
No.
So it's standard setup, it's full qualifying, even though there are only 15 drivers. So Q1, as long as no one DNFs, everyone will be getting through. A slight change tonight. The formation lap will be run in broadcast mode, which basically means you'll hear Crofty say it's lights out for the formation lap. They'll do turn 1, maybe 2, and then it'll cut to reforming the grid. The reason for this is since EA, or since the latest patch, which gave us the Portugal map, it's introduced a bug on interactive formation lap where everyone bar the host would be starting on cold tyres. The host would have nice warm tyres and would therefore gain an advantage. We've done some testing tonight, and if you turn formation lap off, everyone starts on freezing cold tyres. But on broadcast, everyone starts on warm tyres, so can start racing straight away basically. There's still the issue with spectators hosting the lobby, that when the formation lap ends, the lobby will then just freeze until the spectator and host leaves the lobby. Which is just what everyone wants.
So we've got King 5 Panda right now, who's first car on track, doing his warm-up lap. So how was last week's race?
It was a busy race last week. Zeta always throws up quite a few things to keep an eye on. There were quite a few DNFs last week as well. Some absolute carnage through the back section, sector 3. I think it was 4 cars went out at the same time.
Wow.
Hopefully though, Australia, it's less likely to be carnage. There's more runoff, so if someone does lose it, they've got a chance to recover it.
Has King 5 Panda got a quali ban?
No, I think he's literally gone out, done his outlap, so he'll be through to Q2, because everyone will be through to Q2.
Yeah.
So he went out and came back in and retired on his way into the pit. Hepburn's actually on a lap though. Let's crap map up. I'm guessing King 5 Panda's non-humans retired in the pits as well.
Non-human has got a quali ban for missing the race last week.
But Hepburn, although he's on the lap, is invalidated this lap. He's got a couple more going back into the pits. Had he kept it clean, Hepburn would have done a 123.3. So SFR Martin's currently coming into sector 3 now and is on a valid lap. Coming around the final couple of corners. Into the final corner now, and it's just flat out now, get DRS open. It's a long drag from that final corner to the start finish line, but he crosses the line on a 1:19.7. Shawnicus has set a 120.9. Scotty on an outlap. Dixie Anthony's retired in the pits. Freedom's in the pits. Frenzy's in the pits. Hobo's retired in the pits. RRL's retired in the pits. Hepburn is making his way around the final corner now to actually set a valid time. Going to put him in the 120.4, so that takes him to second.
Yeah, I think it's just like a little formality. Get some drivers going around a little bit, and then retiring just so we can get onto Q2 quicker.
Scotty now coming around to start his flying lap. Renzi is just through turn 4 and 5. It's a purple sector 1 with a 27.5.
I'm quite glad I joined this week because this is one of those circuits that a lot of people are quite comfortable with. And then we've got GR63, used to be LH44, an outstanding racer, so we shall see that. The only issue I've actually seen with the circuit is that turn that we just had Scorenzi just go around, and I believe it's, if I was off the top of my head, it's 10 to 13.
It was 13, it's now 11. I keep doing the same.
But it's not accurate to the game, to real life, because that corner is actually being softened, so it's not as much of a 90-degree turn anymore. You roll around it rather than properly turn through it.
They have altered
They altered some of the circuit, but not the corner.
It's certainly wider now than it was in the last game, and I think it catches a lot of people out because you can't work out the perfect line for it. I found when I raced here in RPR, I was either braking miles too early or that little bit too late. I just couldn't put the perfect line through it.
Yeah, it's just, I'll be honest, I kind of get discombobulated watching go through what used to be 9 and 10. But yeah, you can see it's a lot wider, but it's still, that corner has actually been softened, so it's not much as sharp.
The first time I ran this track on this version of the game, I'd done 3 or 4 laps in time trial. I came to this track because it was one of the altered tracks and I wanted to try it, and I did 3 or 4 laps, and I sat there and I said to myself, I've not even noticed where the changes are, because the way it flows through, it felt so natural.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me that they'd taken out or they'd altered the section they had to give the long run all the way up to 9 and 10.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, I'm a little bit gutted that they got rid of that chicane, but just watching the guys drive that line is actually, you can see how much smoother it is, and it just means that, like, we do have the opportunity of having longer battles. So those kart drivers who are catching up a bit quicker, they've got more of a chance of overtaking because they're not having to slow down and get in line for corners. So Frenzy's just dived in the pits. We've only got 4 drivers who are basically currently operating right now. So Freedom, Frenzy, Hepburn and Scotty Harris, all needing to either retire or get themselves out. So there's Frenzy retired from the session. Just waiting for the last 3. So who's your money on for being the top 3? At the end of this round.
The end of at the end of this round or at the end of Q3?
Oh, at the end of Q3.
Thornicus is going to be up there. I think RRL will be up there. Third. King Phi Panda had some good pace last week. I'm going to go with Thornicus, RRL, and King Phi Panda.
Oh, fair enough. Right, so I'm going to go with Scarenzi, Martin, and only if he does do proper qualifying, Frenzy. I'm going for them
Yeah.
three. So 3 different drivers, even though I do believe that RRL, GR63, Shaunicus and King Fire Panda will be there competitively. It'd be good anyway. To see how they do at the end. But I want to see Frenzy do a proper qualifying, rather than what he normally does and just skips it and starts
Yeah,
at the
because
back.
they've brought the frenzy rule in now, so you have to set a competitive time. You can't just straight up retire in pits. Obviously, non-human with his qualifying ban will be retiring in the pits,
Yeah,
but everyone else should now be setting a competitive time, at least in Q2. Obviously, if we had a full grid, they'd all have to set a competitive time in Q1.
obviously, yeah. So just waiting for freedom. I think he
So
might
what?
actually be away from his set.
He's wandered off to get a drink or something.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the chaos that has been the first week of silly season and the driver moves and announcements and then retractions?
Well, it's the thing is, it's like it's put Alpine in a similar situation as they were when they were Renault, when Red Bull pulled out of using their engine. They're now looking like a laughing stock. And then also the teams retracted 2 statements that they've made. First one that everybody knows about is the Oscar Piastri statement. They've retracted that because Oscar's like, no, I've not signed anything. I'm not racing for you. And then you've got the other one was one from 2 years ago. He said Daniel Ricciardo will never race for that team again. And now it looks like they're welcoming him back. But does Daniel want to go back though? I don't know. But then if he's getting pushed up for Oscar, then it is next best option.
Yeah, I don't see any other seats opening for him. It's
There's going to be seats opening. Rumours down the grapevine about Lawrence Stroll leaving Aston Martin, which means Lance doesn't get his money seat anymore. Latifi looks like he might be
Latifi's.
ushered out, even though single-handedly he saved that team. If it wasn't for him getting his dad to sponsor the team, that team would have went down when Rocket pulled out. So yeah, they've got a lot to thank him, but he's not showing any results on the track, is he?
No, and sponsorship, yes, makes up a big part of their budget, but then sponsorship for a pay driver is one sponsor spot filled. But if you're consistently at the back attracting sponsors that are going to pump enough money in so they can get drivers of the caliber they need to push the team on,
Yeah.
becomes it's so incestuous, Formula One. It's unreal the way the money moves around, but doesn't. You can't buy your way to the top. You need No, I suppose you can. If you've got enough money, you can get all the right people.
That's what Red Bull really did, wasn't it? They threw loads of money in before the finance fair play rules come in, and and there goes Freedom, and he retires. Into Q2. Um, yeah, before that, Red Bull threw so much money in to get in a competitive car, to get these drivers.
I suppose we could run through the standings at the end of Q1. Scotty managed to post the fastest time with a 1:19.428. Scorenzi in second with a 1:19.7. SFR Martin in third with a 1:19.7. Hepburn in fourth on a 1:20.4, and Thornicus in fifth on a 1:20.9. Everyone else retired in the pits, or did their outlap and then retired in the pits, so didn't actually set a competitive time.
So that means that all their names are going to go to the stewards because they broke the frenzy rule. Typical.
Technically, yes.
Yeah. And as a steward, I'm going to personally put it in just to wind them all up. Next week we're going to have a lot of quali bands. I'll be half the grid with a quali ban. So here we go. This is where it starts getting more interesting. We've only got 14 drivers. Who's dropped out?
Is missing. Scroll back on the screen.
Who have we lost?
There's Verstappen's Morden's RL's non-humans, Hobo's Friends' Freedom's there's Marcus, Hepburn, Martin, Gurenzi, I can't work out who's missing. Scott is in, Gurenzi's in, Martin's in, Hepburn's in, Monicus is in, Anthony's in, Freedom's in, Friends is in, Bobo's in, Non-Human's in, Morel's in, Moylan's in, Webstappen, King Cobham. Everyone's in.
But we've only got 14 drivers. Oh, you know what it is?
List, number 9's missing.
Yeah, number 9's missing in Q1. Wow, no wonder we thought there was 15 drivers. Wow.
God to love EA.
See, everybody's blaming EA. Right, yeah. I'm gonna like, EA may have their badge all over this game right now, but they were not. It's a Codemasters product because EA have actually got a contract that we're not allowed to start be involved in any of the production of the game up until 2023. So they've not touched this game. This game was actually the game that should have been released last year.
Yeah, Codemasters run on a 2-year cycle, don't they? Dev team are working on 23 now.
And 24. They're working on 23 and 24 right now.
Which is a separate dev team to the guys that brought this out because they're busy trying to fix what they forgot to fix before they released it.
But it's because like so basically they used to do they have two teams that do the games, and they work off the same programs. So it's the same information that they get given, and they just update it to change it from year to year. And it is basically the last few months is the cosmetic and the testing that they're doing. Uh, Issue with it is that this game was mostly created and finished last year before um, FIA decided, oh, you know, we're going to race the cars again for the year after. So this game got put on the side while both teams worked hard on 21. Even though really they basically just copied and pasted. 20 took over the Breaking Point storyline and stuck it in the old game and sent out a broken game. So this game they've worked on even longer and it's still broken.
Yeah, and most of what's broke is just the same stuff that's been broke for several. They've not. I don't think they've looked at trying to resolve the issues with the multiplayer. As Thornicus is out, I've just caught him coming round turn 5. He's got a little bit too much on the curb, got the power down a little too quick, and it's thrown him to the inside wall and then bounced him to the outside wall.
Ooh. So that's one of your top 3 picks out.
Great start, Thornicus. Thank you very much.
So Scarenzi with a 118.8, and we've got Moyland with a 118.9. Very good time for Moyland. You know, we both forgot about how quick Moyland is. We both picked 3 drivers each that weren't Moyland. Yeah, he's sticking his times in there up there with the likes of Scarenzi and Martin right now.
He is quick. He
was quicker last game than he was in this game, but I'm trying to. I really want to see him being battling for podiums consistently and not take people out.
I think he will be battling for podiums. When I first raced with Moyland in RPR, it wasn't the season we've just done. It was at the start of the 21 game. His pace was there, but similar to how he's been a few races, is the handling model. I think it's the handling model he's adapting to and changes there. Because I remember one race in RPR at the start of the 21 season.
Oh, Fenty's just had a spin. Luckily, he's waiting for his teammate to go past him before moving off.
Good awareness, though.
Yeah, don't get that much of a lot of drivers. Fenty's one of those drivers who does have key awareness.
The handling thing, I don't think it helps that when update 106 came out, they changed the handling model, and then when 107's come out, although it's broken the formation map, they've tweaked again the throttle map through, I think it's mainly through 4th gear, because 4th gear was originally when the game came out, if you tried to put the power down too quick in 4th, it would just spin you round.
Yeah.
So they've altered that, and it is a more stable gear. It doesn't seem to be as likely to spin on high torque, low throttle.
Yeah.
My biggest complaint from a commentary spectator point of view is we will see what appears to be lockups and wheel spins from drivers, and when you speak to the driver about it afterwards, they're not experiencing it.
No.
I was spectating whilst in a party the other day, and it looked to me like they were wheel spinning all the way through a sector, because there was just the black lines from the back tyres, and every corner there was smoke off of either the front left or front right, indicating a lockup, and they said no, they didn't feel or see any lockup.
So it's like synchronizing between drivers is also an issue.
Yeah, there were a lot of desync issues coming to the back of the last game, towards the back end of its life.
Yeah.
Things that used to be an issue on primarily PC started copying across. I had it a couple of times, got lag spikes in Japan going through 180R. I was a good half a second behind the car in front of me, started braking at my braking point, and all of a sudden they were just right in front of me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that went to the stewards in RPR, and the footage was submitted, and the stewards looked at it, and it was decided it was a lag spike, because on the footage from the driver that I hit, we were close all the way up to through 180R, we were within a tenth, but on my footage I was half a second back.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's, I've seen some really horrific desync issues where some cars are driving with three wheels rather than all four. So they'd lose a wheel in a crash, but they'd still be able to carry on driving. It was mental.
So, as everyone's going to be preparing to go out for their final run, at the moment, sitting in first, we've got RRL TR63 on a 118.5, Scorenzi in second on a 118.8, Freedom in third on a 118.9, Martin in fourth on a 118.94, Moyland in fifth, who's retired in the pits, feeling confident, on a 118.96. So the top five separated by less than half a second. Hobo in sixth on a 119.4. Hepburn in seventh on a 119.999. King 5 Panda on a 120.0. Anthony on a 120.6. Webstappen on a 120.9. And Frenzy on a 123.4. Thornicus DNF'd, and Scotty is on his flying lap now. Just done a 45.5 through sector 2.
Just on board with Frenzy right now. I just want to see how well he does.
Following Scotty round the final corner now. This is going to be in the 119s.
Oh.
And he takes 7th with the 119.7.
And Frenzy actually hasn't validated that lap. And he's going straight back into the pits. Don't think he's going to have enough time to get back out and do an out lap.
And he retires. About 30 seconds waiting for them to drag you back into the pit to give you time. Get back out.
So a few drivers are jumping back into the pits. But see, I think everybody's quite safe because Verstappen hasn't come out the pits, and he is the only person who's missing out of Q3.
Yeah, so top 10 will be through. And he didn't improve on that lap, but didn't need to because he's through. King 5 Panda now coming through the final corner. Gets the DRS open. And does improve, takes 3.5 tenths off of his time to take him up to 7th with the 1:19.6. Scotty is coming into the pit. And then he's invalidated this lap as well. So that is your final positions at the end of Q2. RRL takes first place with the 1:18.5. Guernsey in second with the 1:18.8. Freedom in third with the 1:18.9. Martin in fourth with an 18.9. Moylan fifth with an 18.9. Hobo in sixth with a 19.4. King 5 Panda in seventh with a 19.6. Scotty in eighth with a 19.7. Hepburn with a 19.999 in ninth. As Anthony spins it out of the final corner.
I thought he was going to lose a wheel then. That would just be like hard luck, wouldn't it? If he cut that wheel and took it off.
So Anthony takes 10th with a 20.6, and now the board's gone off my screen so I can't see who we're losing.
It's Verstappen, Frenzy, and Shonicus that we're losing on that one. Oh, and non-human because of his quali ban. Yeah, I can see non-human still being a podium contender after this. At the end of the whole thing, because we're doing a sprint, that gives an opportunity to steal a few places, and then
No, it's not sprint.
is it not sprint?
No, I confused it earlier, didn't I, by saying about we're back to normal. It's because our RPR were on sprint last week.
Ah, okay. Alright, sorry.
I just got myself confused. The first sprint for TTFL, as he's trying desperately to find the calendar, is Barcelona on the 26th of August.
Oh, nice. Oh, so it's Q3 now. So this is the business end of qualifying. I'll be honest, I find Q2 less enjoyable this season because the tyre strategy doesn't start in the qualifying anymore.
Yes.
And so, yeah, personally, I'm not happy with it. I did love Q2 when you had to work, drivers and the teams had to work out what was going to be the best tire to start on, where they could get the best time they possibly could with a set of mediums or softs, whatever they wanted to pick.
Yeah, the tyres now, the way I don't like the fact you only have one set of mediums and one set of hards for the entire race. It doesn't matter if you do a practice session and go through quali, you only get one set of medium, one set of hard. So if you, whichever tyre you start on, if there's a safety car early on and you pit and then need to pit again, your options are to go on to a used set of tyres or go on to softs.
Yeah,
Whereas as we know in real life, most teams are saving two sets of mediums for the race.
yeah,
Even if one is a slightly worn set, if they've done an installation lap on.
yeah. But it's like, yeah, I find that the new tire rules are they're not they're not worthy of the status that they were given. Really, I think it's just they're putting too much emphasis on tire choice and tire conservation, and it should never really be about that. You should be able to have two softs and two mediums, two hards for a race.
Did you hear about one of the proposals they've made regarding tyres for qualifying next season? That I believe they're going to be trialling at two races. In Q1, you have to run the hard tyre. In Q2, you have to run the medium tyre. And in Q3, you'll have to run the soft tyre.
But then that doesn't work.
It won't give the teams.
There is
Last season's tyre rules with Q2 tyre being your starting tyre, it gave teams that didn't necessarily have the pace to make it into Q1, it gave them the option to run the soft, sacrifice their first stint in the race, but still get into Q3. Whereas now you're going to compromise all the back end of the grid by making them run that hard tyre.
Freedom is out. The dash chicane. He's cut that. He's gone off that and spun, hit the wall. Just seen Martin just drive past him. Hopefully that's cleared up before some of these drivers get there, because
He's got RRL on his way down it cleared.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I completely get what you're saying. The tyre rules last season just felt better. It felt like in Q2 it gave those teams the chance to get there. If, say, when Red Bull, Mercedes decides to go mediums, it gives them a chance to, like, we'll stick the softs on and see if we can actually beat that time. And sometimes we did. And sometimes we did get a shock Q3 appearance. But yeah, it's just these new rules now. It's like it just seems like Q2 is not as important as it was beforehand. I don't think we need a Q1, Q2, Q3 now with this with the way the rules are. You could just go Q1, top 10 go through to Q2, and that's it. You don't need to break it down.
They brought the 3 qualifying sessions in to
For that time rule?
Yeah, the original format was you just had an hour for qualifying, and for 50 minutes no one would leave the track, and it was all waiting for someone to go out and start rubbering up the track.
Yeah.
And then in the last few minutes you'd have everyone out just trying to get the final lap in.
Yeah. Oh, and then we had the the showdown.
Mm.
where he's basically you've got to
Yeah,
compete
everyone's
with
got to be on track, and the slowest time at the end of a given minute is
eliminated.
eliminated.
It's
I mean,
it's an interesting format, but it did make it quite reckless because people were holding up other drivers
if
just
it
to
was,
knock them out. Like was it Rubens Barrichello, Michael Schumacher's teammate, tried to take out
I think
David
so.
Coulthard or something, if I remember rightly. And it was in Australia as well when they trialled it.
Yeah, because they did it for the first two races, didn't they? They did
Yeah,
Australia, and then they carried it over to the second race, and then went, "Oh wait!" Even though everyone said at the end of Australia it didn't work, now we're going to go back to what we had before.
yeah. So it, I'll be honest. I think it's one of those things. It's a nice little showpiece. It'd be nice for like if you did something like that with older cars. So I say like they go, oh yeah, let's bring back the 2010 cars and do that kind of showdown format just to give the fans a bit of a spectacle,
Hmm.
especially on a Friday or Saturday when it's actually quite a boring day at track.
Yeah, I was lucky. I went to Silverstone last year, and it was it was my first time at an F1 event, and it was the first time they ran the sprint at Silverstone. So I was there for the whole weekend. So Friday I got to see practice, all the support races and qualifying, and then Saturday it was all the support races and the sprint race. It was, gave me something to actually watch with the F1 because practice, yes, the cars are going round, but they're not racing. It's not competitive. They're running their programs, and it's good to see and hear them. Yeah, the breaks between races and everything, uh, depending where you were in the track, there wasn't actually a lot to do.
Yeah,
'Cause my seat was round in Chapel, which is the end of the Maggots and Beckett section,
yeah,
and yeah, there was a burger bar and a beer caravan set up, but that was it without a 25 minute walk either way.
yeah. By the
Although,
time that you're there and back, it's already half through the next session.
mm, although I did spend a lot of time near the beer tents.
As you should, as you should. Alright, so Q3's coming up to the last couple of minutes now. This is coming to the crunch point now. Um, yeah, Screnzi for 118.1. What a time that is. I don't see
He's
anybody actually
taken
being sub 118, but
he's taken half a second or more out of his previous time from Q2.
yeah,
SFR Martin's up there, RRL's up there, Hobo's not far off being sub 118. Sorry, sub 119. He's on a 119.0 at the minute. He's just coming into the pits now. Don't think he's going to have time.
no, it's not.
No,
No, not really.
he,
It's,
he might just make it to be the
uh,
last across the line.
I don't think he will because you don't want to be doing a full pace lap to get
As
round.
Freedom is out, he's just come round turn three.
Feels that out.
No, no, sorry, Freedom is out. King Tri
King,
Panda
yeah, yeah,
is.
that's it. His teammates on the car. And he's falling for them. And Moyne dives into the pits. He's aborted that lap.
He's going to start in 9.
Yeah, it's not like him to be down that far down. And he's so off the pace. He's 8.5 seconds off from P1, which is not like him.
No, he must have had an absolute nail on that lap.
Yeah. We've got Scotty Harris right now, he's improved on his time, but not much. He needs to take off 1.5 seconds to get anywhere near.
The only thing can hope is his final sector on his previous lap was held
Dodgy.
up by someone.
Yeah.
This is looking, if he's round here in a 14, he's going to be a 119.
Very good. That was very good. Very good call on the 119. Everybody won't be happy.
All 5 thousandths difference to Hobo.
He doesn't like getting beat by Scotty Harris, does he?
5th place grid penalty for Hepburn for collision with SFR Martin. And they are both off.
Well, SFR Martin, I think SFR Martin crashed and Hepburn crashed into his crash car. That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, and it's Zararel jumps up into second on a 118.3. Can't Anthony Cook anymore. He was improving. He was 2
what a time! Well done. We're starting to see glimpses of the old DXD Anthony. He used to basically be up there with the like Scorenzi time paces, that kind of thing. People found it hard to keep up with him. But the last 2 games, he's just kind of slipped down. So I'll let you run through the times there.
So our pole sitter is Scorenzi on a 118.1. RRL will be second on a 118.3. SFR Martin in third on a 118.444. DXC Anthony in fourth on a 118.664. Scotty in fifth on a 19.028. Hobo in sixth on a 19.033. Hepburn qualified 7th on a 19.4, but has got that 5-place grid penalty, which will drop him down to 12th. King 5 Panda in 8th on a 19.9. Moyland in 9th on a 26.6, and Freedom, who wasn't able to set a time in that session. So now we are waiting for everyone to set their strategies for the race, do their fuel loads,
So what do you think
gamble on their fuel load on how likely they think a safety car will be.
Oh, I think it's more than likely that there's going to be a safety car. But the question is when.
So just as a reminder, it is a broadcast formation lap tonight rather than the immersive formation lap, so the drivers don't have any control. The cars will pull away from the grid and we'll see a couple of corners form up on the grid, and that is just so everyone starts with warm tyres after the latest bug that's been introduced with the latest patch.
Here we go then, the formation lap is underway and the track temperature looks warm. That may or may not play into some of the team's hands in today's race.
So what we can see is the tyres everyone has selected. So the top 9 are all selected for medium tyre. Frenzy and Hepburn have decided to go for the hards. Dornicus on the medium, and Non-Human and King 5 Panda have gone for the soft. master. We've got a good mix of tyre strategies here. Going to make the opening couple of laps interesting, certainly down the back end of the grid. That's where we've got the real differences. Final car is pulling into its grid slot now. And it's lights out and away we go. Scorenzi looks to have got a really good start there. DXT Anthony making up a couple of places to be up into second into the first corner. Got a McLaren and a Ferrari round. That's SFR Martin and Freedom have now dropped to the back of the pack. Through that, Scorenzi and Anthony have already opened up a 2-second gap over Scotty in third. Moyland is up into fourth already. Hobo up into fifth. Hepburn's regained from his grid penalty and is up into sixth. RRL's dropped down the grid slightly into seventh. Thornica's sitting in eighth. Non-Human in ninth. King 5 Panda in 10th. Webb Stappen in 11th. Frenzy in 12th. And then Martin and Freedom bringing up the rear. Scorenzi is opening that gap out to Anthony now. It's nearly broken the 1 second mark and we've not even ran the first lap.
No, but it's absolutely mental. Like Scorenzi is like efficient. There is nothing you can say bad about that guy's driving technique. It's very rare he makes a mistake. And DXT Anthony looks like he's getting back on it. And look at that time that he just gave him 33.7 seconds. I think that we've got an issue there. Everybody's done a sub-minute lap.
God, to love Codemasters. Oh, that'll be fun for Hobo later, trying to work out who actually got the fastest lap.
that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So Moyland has passed Scotty now and is up into third. He's closing down onto the back of Anthony in front. Gap currently sitting at 1.3 seconds, but Scotty's not giving up. He's closed down 3/10 onto Moyland.
Well, Non-Human's up to 6th already. Absolutely fantastic start from him. Hobo's right on his tail, so basically I think Hobo's just going to use Non-Human as a pull through to get him up there into the battles.
Stick with him and utilise the 3 DRS zones as Non-Human.
That was close.
Managed to keep it out the way and back the car off the racing line. That was tidily done by Non-Human. The Scotty is back past Moyland now into turn 3. Got that move done. Just caught the back end of it, so I didn't see how he made it happen. Scorenzi has extended his gap in front now, as we've got, I think that's Hepburn round at the back. We've got one car going again. Scorenzi's gap to DXT Anthony is now 2.3 seconds. It's well clear of the DRS as Moyland Scotty's round through the 9 and 10 high speed chicane of death. Unfortunately dropped him down, but he's kept out of the way to let Hepburn and Non-Human through. Doesn't appear to have any damage. RRL is now closing on the back of Moyland. He's half a second off, so within DRS. As they come into the second DRS straight, Moyland's got the DRS off of Anthony, helping to defend from RRL. They go through turn 3, all taking a very similar line through there. Turn 4 and 5. We've got a yellow flag in sector 3, which is Scotty retiring in the pits. Scarenzi is pulling away out in front. He's now opened his gap to 3.5 and a stick-lift battle between Anthony Moyland and RRL closing up on the back. Moyland is all over the back of Anthony now. Coming to turn 12 and 13.
Yeah, I can see RRL sitting there waiting for a mistake to happen because he is closing them up slowly, but it doesn't look like he's really throwing it into the corners to make the catch up happen. Because watching these battles, a little touch in between Anthony and Moyland, but it's all good. Moyland gets through. But that's just brought GR63 right into the mix now.
We're all DR63 and Moyland are sitting on very similar ERS. Whereas Anthony in the middle of the trio now is about 30% more ERS as RRL has gone for the move and has made it past.
Yeah, but then
hold on to it through the following DRS line.
Well, yeah, because Anthony will now have DRS, but so does GR63.
GR is definitely pushing his ERS more than he's similar level to Morris, about 5% lower, but Anthony's preserving his. I think he's using now the DRS to tow him along and keep him in touch.
Yeah, DXT Anthony's using a smoother line. He's taking care of his tyres as well. So is he going to push for that during that critical one stop where medium hard, or is he going for the two stop with the medium soft? But the longer he gets these tyres out, the better his options are further down the line.
There's no medium soft option anymore.
Oh no, there isn't.
You've only got the one medium.
Yeah, yes indeed. That's an issue, isn't it? If you can't do a medium soft, that's one of the tyre strategies most teams use on a two-stop.
If there's a couple of safety cars, you can make the mediums go very long and get the softs on at the end.
Yeah.
Around lap 20. And they will make it to the end. They're not pretty at the end, but the advantage you have pace-wise makes it a doable strategy. But you need, obviously, either extreme tyre management on your mediums or a couple of safety cars just to close the pack up.
Yeah, because it works out with 50%. It's 8 laps of effectiveness on the soft tyres, and I believe it's 14 on the mediums. So yeah, you're gonna have to edge him out. As DXT Anthony is out. He's lost it at turn 5, which will bring out a safety car.
So that plays into the hands of everyone in the top 7 are still on the medium tyre. Non-human now has the option to go in, put the medium on, and he could be able to drop to nurse them to the end of the race. Renzi's coming in.
Yeah, it's the basic of it's the only option you can do really. This is like hard tyre will go easy 20 laps, so you'll get to lap 27 and you'll start feeling them struggling. But got a good there's a good chance of another safety car coming out, and if he's straight onto a set of mediums or softs after that, either switching back to his mediums or going onto the softs, depending on what tyre point of the race they are on.
Everyone bar Verstappen has pitted. Verstappen's now inherited 3rd place on his 7-lap-old medium, so pace-wise, I don't think he's going to notice any issues for the first couple of laps after safety car, because of how hard the hard tyres are to maintain and build temperature. So what these guys will now be finding is, as you leave the pits, your tyres are pretty much stone cold. You, under safety car, save them a bit, so they've not got to push as hard.
But it does take a while for these tyres to warm up as well. If you're not effective enough warming them up, then the safety car restart you are a sitting duck.
See who's broadcasting their telemetry to see what their tyre temperatures are. So I'll get a read on Scorenzi, I can get a read on Moylan. Verstappen's broadcasting, RRL's broadcasting, Ryan's broadcasting, Freedom's broadcasting, Hobo's broadcasting, non-human is... Wow, in RPR, there's only a handful of drivers that have put their telemetry on public. In TTFL, it looks like everyone has.
Oh, that's because we love to share.
Yeah, which is great because I can see all their tyre temperatures without having to try and click into onboard mode and try and read their steering wheel. They're all probably going to listen back to this and go, I'm not going to give away who's got warm tyres and who's not.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair that we don't do that.
What I will say is everyone's tyres are pretty similar temperature-wise at the moment. It is actually surprising looking at guy of his friends is on the medium and Freedom on the soft. Yeah, the guys on the hards, they've all got them in the right temperature window. But it's whether they can maintain that temperature whilst the safety car's still out. As the safety car is in this lap, so Scorenzi now, unfortunate, he's lost that advantage he'd built over the first 7 laps, but is now acts as the de facto safety car, holding the pack up to allow the safety car to enter the pits before he decides to go. And when will he make that choice?
It's the response from Moylan that's going to be critical right now. Here we go. Because that is him off. Moylan's reacting well.
Scorenzi pulls to the right to try and break the slipstream. RL looks to have done the same, but he might have been trying to get a bit of heat in his tyres.
And Moylan's on the move. Oh, he needs to make this move early because once Scavendi is in a pattern, he'll be gone.
I think what looked like a move into turn 3 was actually him positioning his preferred line into turn 3, and
Yeah.
Scarenzi defended, possibly hindered himself slightly in defending the inside.
Moylan's got a nicer line going through the turn 9 and 10. But Scavendi carries a lot more pace going through those corners right now.
So you've got the top 4 all within half a second of each other. SFR Martin's dropped off slightly. He's 1.5 seconds back on Freedom, but Freedom is on the soft tyre compared to everyone else on the hard. So I'd expect to see Freedom making a move using that extra traction as he looks to go up the inside, but decides against it into turn 1. So much more traction out of turn 2, is alongside RRL and gets the move made into turn 3.
Yeah, he's got to make those soft tyres there work really hard right now to get himself in the battles.
There's RRL's round in the background. Still got all the wheels on it, but he's kept it off to the side of the track whilst the pack goes through. And that's unfortunate for RRL, having been the lap after a safety car restart. The pack was so close together. He had to literally sit and wait for everyone to go past. So Hobo is right on the back of Non-Human now. So I'm trying to keep an eye as well on the times at the front, but they're sitting fairly static, about the half a second apart mark. So we'll follow Hobo round as he tries to make in ways against Non-Human. The DRS is now enabled again.
And there's a three-way battle here for 7th. Oh, the two Alpha Male teams. Oh.
Contact there between Hepburn and...
I don't know which. It was one of the Alpha Romeos.
I think it was King 5 Panda. I think it was the second one, which doesn't look to have affected him. Unfortunately for Hepburn, it has put him down to the back of the grid.
Yeah, that might be coming up to into the steward's office.
Freedom and Moyland swap places up at the front, and they're right on the back of Scarenzi now.
See, Moyland wouldn't be too bothered with Freedom doing that, because what that does is it gives Freedom a chance to make Scarenzi battle.
It'll hold Scarenzi up.
Yeah, and it gives him a chance to pip him at some point. And then when Freedom goes into the pit for a fresh set of tyres, because those soft tyres are not going to last to the end.
I'm going to retract my statement about people's telemetry being on public. The only telemetry you get on public is tyre temps. Tyre wear data is only if it's shared, and there's only a couple that are sharing that data.
Yeah.
So I can see their temps, but I can't see everyone's tyre wear. Through the grid, Hobo is maintaining his gaps to non-human. Does look like non-human is slightly starting to open it out.
Frenzy's making his move on King 500. Just get himself in a good position. There we go. He made that look really easy. King 500 come back in.
Bear exit. Gone up the inside and has made it stick, but is allowing Webb Staffen to close up now. RRL's closing down as well. After his spin, he was some 5 seconds off the back. He's now closed that down to 2.6 as Frenzy's got back past King 500 again. What's that going slow? That was Hobo.
Oh, what happened to Hobo?
Hobo.
He just seems a little bit sluggish right now. Did he have, because he's got a new baby, did he have to, it looked quite weird that he stopped pretty much in the middle of the track. Did he have to stop to dead quick for parenting issue? Because I know I've done that before. I just dropped the controller to sort my little lad out.
I know he's travelled back from Cornwall today and he said they left at 10:30 and he got in about 5 minutes before the lobby started, so...
The fact that Lexi's let him get on this is actually quite good.
Lexi's probably glad of the break from him.
Well, she has been trying to get rid of him for ages. But... She
made a mistake there by getting herself pregnant.
Oh no, she wanted the baby, she didn't want him. Yeah. Mate, I've got the proof that she wanted the baby. We had these discussions over a year ago. Me and Nevo gave Hobo a lot of crap. Give her what she wants. Stop holding out. Finally pulled it out and done something with it for once.
You can tell when you speak to him though and ask him about his little and how happy he is as well.
Oh yeah.
He's a proper new dad every day. Just a new experience and they're all fun. It doesn't matter what they are. I am still waiting to hear when he gets a Punado.
A Punado?
Yeah, when you start changing and they decide now's the perfect time to just let rip.
Oh, you know what? I've not had that. I've not had that myself.
I can't remember which of my three did that to me. But I remember it was literally the minute you take the little Velcro, yeah, well, not Velcro, but the grip straps off, the tabs off, and it releases the pressure in their belly, and then they start to go, and you try and get the nappy back over them just to catch it, but it just created a ramp.
Wow, the graphic image, it's unbelievable. Oh, Moylan gets a time penalty for that corner, but he also gets the overtake on Freedom, because Freedom makes a mistake. But
I think Freedom's tyres may now be losing out as he dives into the pits now.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go. And then he's gonna have to work hard again just to let's put the hards on.
And you set high, it's going to be a couple of laps, couple of 3 laps, getting those up to temperature.
He can do it in 2 laps, but they're still not going to be effective. Like the weird thing about the hard tires is that they get grippier and grippier as they go. So when you get to laps 6 and 7, they're at the optimum grippiness, and they don't slack off for another 3-4 laps after that. It's at that point that when they do it does the switch over with the medium tires.
RL is now all over the back of King Pi Panda as they're coming up to the 9 and 10 chicane to give him the DRS now, but King Pi Panda's got the DRS as well to defend with. Verstappen's looking, RL was looking to get the move made, but couldn't find a way past there. Can he make anything out of the next DRS straight? King Pi Panda's still going to have the DRS from Verstappen to defend.
Yeah,
Verstappen looks to get a poor exit from that corner.
Yeah.
He's going to be defending into turn 1, but now you've got the Haas teammate. Is Verstappen going to allow RRL to get past? Looks
Yeah,
like
he definitely did. He didn't even put it in start with DRS until RRL was passed to give RRL the advantage, which is what you want from a second driver.
Knows that RRL's got the pace to be further up, and it's only that little mistake that's cost him. Hobo picked up a 3-second penalty there. Moyland is still right on the back of Shornicus now. Scorenzi even.
Yeah, frenzy on Shornicus. This is a nice little battle because these two drivers are, I'd say, effectively the same kind of pace. They're just as quick as each other. They've probably got similar attributes when it comes down to racing. So, oh, there goes Frenzy, spun around. Has he got?
The final corner. He's got space to get that back round and get going again. His rear tyres are going to be cooking now, and he's going to have to take it somewhat steady through the first couple of corners to allow him to
cool down a little bit.
Hobo's got back a little bit on Scorenzi out in front. He might just be reserving his DRS, putting another push at him later on in the lap.
King Pi Panda seems a bit struggling right now. He's making too many mistakes. He's just gone wide at turn 4, or on the exit at turn 4, and he just seems off the line. We're gonna either expect him to spin that car, or maybe pick up more track limit penalties, because it just seems that it's running away with him right now.
His tyres are 13 laps old, so they're not. They should be in.
It's still in good condition.
We've got a Hepburn further down on 15 lap old hard. Getting discord. Moyland looks to be closing that gap, but it's opening up again as they go through 8 of 9. And closing him down again. No, sorry, that was 7 and 8. This is 9 and 10. I really need to get some laps up that got corner numbers on them.
Yeah,
especially now they've altered the trackers. Moyland's gone for a move round the outside of turn 11.
It was a very, very good move, but it's going to be another switch, because Scorenzi will just line up that DRS. and take it back. But Moylan
Yeah, that,
seems to have done well to open up a gap.
he's got half a second over him down the start finish with Scorenzi having the DRS,
Yeah,
and it's not closing in. They've got to have completely different setups. I'd say Moylan's got a less downforce based setup as FFR Martin's retired from the pits. So I'd have
got
expected
to.
with DRS, I'd have expected Scorenzi, who's now picked up his first 3 second penalty, which means they're both even on penalties, so it is now all about track position out front. Scorenzi's got amazing drive through that sector though.
Yeah, but he let off. He let off the accelerator just to hold back because he didn't want to give Moyland the DRS.
DRS. Tactical placement and braking point. It's a bit like Leclerc and Verstappen at Jeddah and Bahrain.
Yeah.
Back off so you get the DRS when you need it where it's most important. But Moylan seems to have the exit out of the final corner absolutely nailed. He opens enough of a gap that Scorenzi can't close even with the DRS as Scorenzi goes up the inside into turn 3 and gets the job done. Yellow flag for non-human who's round but keeps it all the wheels on, still going. Freedom pops past him. So Freedom's done well to recover up to 3rd.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So now we've got a battle of the McClaverers for 3rd place. So a lot of people don't know that these two are actually brothers. I don't know which one's older. I actually think Freedom's actually the older one. So that's a question we need to find out the answer to.
Hobo's on the back of Frenzy for 8th and 9th place. Both on same age tyres, but Hobo's on the hards, Frenzy on the medium.
Well, those hards will be in better condition than those mediums right now.
Mediums. Those mediums won't be too bad condition-wise.
No, but
depending how his
yeah. But like those hard tires will be in a good condition right now. That's the condition. Oh, I hope it's come round.
Round out the final corner, and I know that pain. I did that myself previously on a safety car restart. I was trying to get the power down that little bit too early and just put myself round, and well, in my instance, I dropped out of the podium position all the way to a DNF because I couldn't keep it out in the pit wall.
Well, so Herbert missed out on the next couple of points.
Moylan's half a second off the back of Scorenzi at front. Non-humans keeping it within half a second of his brother in 3rd. Tornicus and RRL I think our closest battle. RRL's now within 3/10 and looks to be pushing hard now to try and make up for his earlier mistake. We have the DRS down the start finish straight. Right in the back for the slipstream, goes to take the outside into turn 1 and gets the move done before the braking zone. So now gets the benefit of the DRS zone down to turn 3 as well, as it's all based on the one activation zone, which has allowed him to brake a second gap as non-human was round in front of him, trying to see if non-human has any damage. Yep, non-human, well, at least from spectator view, non-human has no front wing, but it doesn't seem to be affecting his ability to get round the corners, which was something apparently Pack 107 was supposed to have fixed. The fact that front wing damage didn't affect performance. Back for the battle at the front, Scorenzi now opened that gap to 0.7. Likewise, when Moyland was in front of Scorenzi, he's struggling to gain through the DRS zone.
Yeah.
Moyland's now picked up another 3-second penalty. So he's got 4 laps to get this move done and gain 3 seconds over Scorenzi, which I think he is going to struggle to do. Getting the move done is a possibility, but extending the lead by 3 seconds. Your kids aren't allowed to go to bed, they should be watching on YouTube.
Sorry.
You could be getting the viewer numbers up. I told my lad that when I nipped in just before quali started. I just nipped into the house for a comfort break as my lad came out of his room. I said good night to him and that. I went, what are you doing? He said, oh, I'm just playing games on my tablet. I said, stop playing games, get YouTube on, come on, watch the stream.
Get the viewers numbers up, lad.
Hit subscribe and like, notifications, so you know when I'm, not that you don't know when I'm doing it, because I'm out in the shed.
I've noticed now, like, I'm watching more and more through Sector 2, this flow, that every driver, there's 2 ways of doing it. You either race it or it's or they stick to the old line, which is like they switch right across and hug the right hand wall going up. It's just quite interesting to see which one would actually be quicker, or is it depending on the driving style, which one's quicker?
I think a lot of it is the TTFL did their first race round this layout of Australia as the lead. A lot of it, I think, is muscle memory. Your brain remembers how it was, so you adjust for where they've made the alterations, and then you revert back to what you know, and that's something I found on Monday night in RPR at Spain. I couldn't get out of the habit of going down. I was going down too many gears for certain corners, whereas in these cars you need the higher gear to carry the speed through.
Yeah.
But I know part of the reason I had that issue was where I have had the display wasn't immediately visible from my seating positions of how my wheels set up, so I've tweaked my display so I can actually see what gear I'm in clearly.
Yeah.
And I've done a couple of laps around Spain since, and it's more consistent than I was on Monday. It's still useless. I hate that track. I think it's horrendous.
You didn't do too bad.
I made it to the end, which for me is a bonus.
See, you didn't do too bad then, did you? Not many
No,
people do get to the end of Spain for some reason. But I've got to say, it was one of the most enjoyable commentaries I did.
the battle out the front was good,
Oh, it was really brilliant.
especially as
Oh,
Daniel
Moylan, he's making the move. Is he going to make a stick?
into turn 11 leaves him space. Nice, clean, respectful drive in there.
Oh, it's still one lap showdown because we know Scarenzi's got the ability to do to take that position back. But we know how hard it is to follow.
He gets that drive off the final corner and opens the gap. Scarenzi is closing at quite a rate this time. It feels like as soon as the DRS closes, any advantage he had
He's gone.
just drops off.
Yeah.
So barring any incident, this will be our first and second place drivers. Freedom's done well to recover.
Freedom definitely does deserve driver of the day with what he's done today. Absolutely phenomenal performance from him. And his brother as well, who's had a couple of spins and started at the back as well and got 7th.
Likewise, RRL dropped down to the back of the grid and is currently sitting in fourth.
As we are coming up now to the last few corners with Moylan leading the way.
Open that gap to a second. Unfortunately it's not going to be enough to give him the win.
Oh,
but he wins on track because of that penalty. It drops him down to second.
Oh,
you'd forgotten about the penalty, hadn't you?
I forgot that Moylan got two penalties rather than just the one. Oh wow! To be honest, that was actually a really good ending anyway. Forgetting the penalties, changing that was a very good end to the race.
Freedom comes across to take third place as we now wait for RRL. Just coming across the line now into fourth. Gornicus is going to pick up fifth place. King 5 Panda will take sixth. Non-human celebrating down the start-finish straight takes eighth. Frenzy jumps him on penalties. So Frenzy picks up 7th. Hobo now just coming through the final couple of corners as a 13 second advantage over Hepburn. So as long as he's not picked up too many penalties, he's taken 9th. Hepburn picks up 10th. But that has been your Australian Grand Prix for TTFL. Freedom does indeed get our driver of the day and Codemasters driver of the day.
Yeah,
I think that
was a phenomenal race. That was right near the end. Scarenzi with another win. We need to get Amar back.
So, Hobo's going to have great fun trying to pick out fastest lap from that. Fastest laps were 33, 36, 44, 38, 39, 40, 41, 38, 38, 39, 41, 43, 35, 36 seconds.
I think he might just have to scrap the fastest lap on this one.
Yeah.
Because the game's glitched it, and it is only 1 point, and chances are it's going to go to one of the top 3. But but we never know.
So to run you through the final order, Scarenzi takes the win over Moyland. Freedom picks up the final podium place. RRL had a great recovery to pick up fourth. Thornicus in fifth. King Phi Panda in sixth. Frenzy took seventh. Non-Human in eighth. Hobo got ninth. Hepburn in 10th, Webstappen in 11th, and your DNFs were SFR Martin, DXC Anthony, and unfortunately Scotty.
Yeah.
That has been your TTFL Tier 1 race, and I'm going to be ending this stream and jumping off, and then I will be restarting a stream in about 20 minutes time for the RPR GP2 race tonight, which is at Spain, as GP2 and our GP3 league on Sunday follow the same calendar as GP1. So if anyone does want to jump across and take part or get involved in the commentary for RPR, please feel free to give my channel a follow. And likewise, I'd like to thank Gaz, DXC Ferret, for joining me on comms tonight.
Oh, my pleasure. I really do enjoy it. Better than last season when I was doing it all on my own.
Yeah, I was in two minds whether to drive this season or do comms, and then last season's comms wasn't going to get the game, and then last minute went, oh, I've got it. But I actually, to be fair, I really enjoying doing comms.
Well, that was me. I wasn't going to get the game, and then someone bought it for me. So I was like, oh,
You've
I've got
got
it,
it.
guys. I've got it, guys. But yeah, I'm glad I'm not the number one commentator anymore. I can have a bit of a break.
But right, I'm going to end my stream there, and I will see you all next week. Where are we next week? Let's have a quick gander. So I was looking at the calendar earlier. So we've done Melbourne. It's Imola next week
Oh,
for
what a race!
TTFL.
What a race to be at. That's a fantastic play I want to go to.
It is, and we're at Imola next week for RPR as well. So I've been doing a bit of practice around Imola, and these cars handle Imola a lot better than last season's cars.
You couldn't get much worse.
But,
It
right,
was
guys, thanks for watching, and I will speak to you guys next week.
good night.